What's going on? My name is Shiv, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about and review Mike Barron's suite of programs. Now, in honor of Mike, I used to live in La Jolla, California. Mike lives in San Diego. I would see him every now and then. He's a very, very flashy guy, right? The very stereotypical internet guru, Lamborghinis, always on a boat, champagne, that whole, lifestyle. I'm not a flashy guy at all. So even though I probably make the same amount of money as him, little flex, I decided, my friend gifted me this Gucci tracksuit as a joke for my 30th birthday. So I'm going to wear this in honor of this video about Mike Barron. So let's kind of jump in. So Mike Barron, basically, he does kind of the stereotypical guru thing. It's almost, I hate to use the word like Russell Brunson or like, just your kind of like the Ty Lopez effect, right? You go, he has a bunch of Lamborghinis and, lives in this big house and kind of flashes this exorbitant lifestyle of like expensive dinners and things like that. And the whole kind of facade of the marketing is to sell you into these high ticket programs or programs that are going to teach you how to be rich too. Now, in my experience, anytime you sell a product that's like, I'm going to teach you to be rich, and then the way you market the I'm going to teach you how to be rich course is by showing how rich you are, I just have a lot of problems with it. For starters, like if you really think Mike Barron bought all, like he has like a Lamborghini Urus and then he has like a Huracan STO or whatever, like the really expensive, he has like 3 Lambos, right? And if you think he bought those Lamborghinis because he himself did sales calls for like just an honest, like just like a normal company just doing sales calls, obviously he didn't. He bought those Lamborghinis selling you a course, selling you his products. And when you start digging into like his Trustpilot or his Better Business Bureau, which look, I can make a whole separate video. Some of those services could easily be faked, right? Like those services, they're kind of, you can pay a better business bureau to like hide a lot of bad things. So I just think it's stupid to like look him up in general. But he does have a lot of kind of horror stories, right? People who have bought a course of his for $50,000. Now, mind you, the most I've ever charged for my services is $3,000. And not to say that I can't charge more money. But I personally have an ethical problem with charging money, especially in this space, in the internet teaching space. I have a problem with charging money, which can ruin someone's life. So what I find, like I teach people, as a side note, there's probably a link in the description. I teach people SEO, how to build little websites on Google, ChatGPT, kind of these AI tools, and rank them for small businesses, and then use like a voice over IP number to get like $500 a month, $1,000 a month from a small business owner as a way to make passive income. You could read all about it in the video description below. But for me, I've been doing that for about 12 years. I've been teaching it for about 2.5, 3 years. And one thing I was very big on is being very transparent with what I charge, right? So on my landing page and all my marketing, it's very obvious what my program costs. And 2 is, for me, making sure that anyone who joins my program, like it's not going to ruin their life. So like I don't offer much financing. If someone wants to break it up in 2 months or 3 months, right? You want to pay, break it up a little bit, fine. In certain circumstances, that's fine. But how a lot of these gurus like Mike Barron, they get people is they'll sell like a $50,000 like dream. We'll build your whole business for you. We'll teach you how to be rich. You'll come to the office. You'll get to shake hands with Mike Barron. You'll get to drive in the Lamborghini. We'll take you to Nobu dinner, or he's in San Diego, so the fancy restaurant there is Javier's, right? Go to Javier's at UTC Mall, and basically, for $50,000, but they can't sell. Most of the audience that kind of falls into this stuff, they can't afford 50 grand. They don't have $50,000. So what they'll do, like what Mike Barron will do, is his sales team will be like, oh, we'll do a payment plan for you. And they will do any payment plan under the sun. Like I'm talking like they will take $300 a month from you for the next 350 months, right? They will do any SKU of a payment plan. And so this is kind of how they get you, right? Because you come in and you think, oh, I can't afford that. But because they sell you, a $2,000 package or a $50,000 package or whatever, these huge packages that range from small packages all the way up to these huge, mega, crazy things, and obviously the huge allure and hype to make you wealthy, and basically, what ends up happening is that because you go on this payment plan, they know that they're selling you oxygen. Right, selling you a set of videos, selling you you go meet them for an hour at the office, like as a group thing. These aren't very expensive costs, right? So if I sell you something for $50,000, but I payment plan you $1,000 a month over the next 5 years, I know you're going to drop off. I know the odds of you paying the whole 50 grand, even though you signed a blood diamond contract, are slim to none. And he knows he's not going to really be able to sue you or collect on it. So they just know, hey, look, if we ran a Facebook ad, we got you to schedule a sales call, and you spend $1,000 a month over 50 months, but you go 3 months in and bail. Well, they still got $3,000 off you, and they spent $100, $200 on the Facebook ad lead to get you on all of his flashy marketing. So hey, look, they made $3 grand, and if they just need to do that a few times every day to make a lot of money. Now he does make a lot of money selling the dream, selling his courses. I think his courses do like 1.2 million a month, something like that. He talked about it on an interview with another crazy person who's Indian named Ace, who is that guy actually has a legitimate business called Dr. Multimedia, but they did like a podcast interview, and he was talking about how they make $1 million a month. But the problem is when you start selling that much of courses, it's really hard to build, to actually have a real relationship with your customers and actually provide ROI for those customers. So my gut knows that most of the people that he's selling, he's just hoping that they're too afraid to speak up of how unhappy they are. And a lot of people are this way, unfortunately, when especially people who are poor. I grew up very lower middle class, and when you basically go make a huge financial decision, a lot of times it's people in those brackets that don't speak up about how they're being screwed over, right? Where they feel like, oh, I just eat it as a loss and move forward. Okay, I'm deep in credit card debt, I'll just pay it off. And so that's kind of Mike Barron's hope, is that most people will just kind of look the other way. And I'm not saying he doesn't provide any service to them, but let's be honest, there's nothing he's going to offer them that's worth $50,000. Nothing at all, right? So Mike does the whole thing. He basically, a lot of what he does is the whole high ticket closing, teaching you how to sell. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme, right? It's like, join my high ticket course, and I'm going to teach you how to sell things for high ticket. So because of that allure, I'm going to teach you how to sell something for high ticket. Of course, you should spend a lot of money on my course. How is it that you want to learn how to sell high ticket expensive items and you're not willing to spend an expensive price on me? Right. So that's usually kind of the sales lines they'll use on the phone. Like, wait, you want to learn high ticket closing, yet you're telling me $10,000 is too much for our program. So how am I supposed to make you good at selling $10,000 packages if you won't buy my $10,000 package? Right. So it's kind of like that pyramid scheme approach. So not my style. I don't like it. And I don't really see, I just think, anyone who's overly flashy, like I'm wearing this ironically, right? Like I think designer clothes are stupid, to be honest. Because let's be honest, this is like $6 of fabric in China. It's not worth $5,000 or whatever Gucci sells it for. So anyone who goes too materialistic, I just know deep down that that it's a very low IQ. It's kind of a very stupid way to sell, kind of to the bottom of the masses. It's not a very good. It's I don't want to call it a scam. It's basically a scam. Let's be honest. These are the things that if you look at everything that the FTC or SEC goes down on in terms of these programs, a lot of times it follows a very similar playbook to Mike Barron. So everyone, it's a free country, right? You're allowed to buy whatever you want to buy. I'm not going to tell you not to buy something. But come on, guys. If you really think, you should be more suspect. If someone is showing off all their Lambos and all their mansions on their marketing, You should be suspect, because what does that mean? That means they're going to take your money, your hardworking money that you don't have a lot of, or like most people who buy Mike Barron stuff, they're the poor bottom 1%, right? People who fall into this type of marketing a lot of times aren't rich people, right? Because rich people know that if you actually have a lot of money and you can do it legitimately, like you don't show your stuff off. It just makes no sense, right? Like and by the way, I had a night, like I've had a $200,000 car before. I used to drive a Porsche 911. Okay, there was not one photo of it on the internet, not one. Okay, so it's to me that like, because I didn't need to use it for marketing. Two, I bought it with legitimate money from my actual small business owner clients, my actual websites, not from my course business, right? And so people who have legitimate, like if you see a doctor with like a nice car, they're not posting it on social media to flex. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to do. It's like anything in life, right? If you're actually naturally jacked, if you're going to the gym and you actually work out every day and you actually eat right and you're not using steroids, you don't, unless you have like a fitness brand, you're not going to post it every single day of like how jacked you are. It's just a weird thing to do. You're just in good shape, right? And it's the same thing with anything. If you are actually a master at something, you don't post it. Or if you're going to post it, it's because you're building a brand on that thing. But for Mike, he's trying to sell you how to get rich, but that's not, so he's using the cars, but there's no substance underneath it. Like it's like me saying like how to, I don't know. It'd be like me teaching you how to be Indian, and I'm just flexing how Indian I am. It's like, well, that's not, just because you can watch a million videos of me being Indian, it doesn't help you become Indian. Just seeing someone drive their Lambos all day long isn't going to help you magically get a Lambo. So that's kind of my take. Honestly, like some of the people in this program, like someone said they spent $2,000 for one of his programs. They were promised to make all this money and they never made a dime. Someone else invested $10,000 for his inner circle as part of like a partnership program with a full cost of $50,000. And so people get basically pressure to spend more and more and more money with him. And his company's called Limelight Media. But another dude wrote how Limelight Media took him for $10,000 under a false claim that they would make their money back within a specific number of days if they invested in themselves. Obviously, it didn't happen. So yeah, these are like, basically Mike's team has really carefully scripted sales scripts. They have all these, they sign you on a really hardcore contract and they try to like beat you over the head over it. Another person gave Mike $28,000 and was desperate for a refund. And that's another thing, right? Within reason, if someone's saying they're super rich and super successful, and you join something and a few weeks later you're not happy with it, within reason, they're like, we're all rational human beings here. The idea that you won't offer a refund, like why would you want unhappy customers? Like for me, like I don't want people to be unhappy. Now, obviously I don't want people to come into my program, steal my life's work and dip, like to steal all my stuff. Right? I want people to join it legitimately. But I'm also like, if someone's unhappy with me, why do I want to hold them hostage? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So, and let alone, I'm a cheap price, right? I've never charged more than $3,000 for my coaching or expertise, a total. Even though like I said, I probably do financially just as well as a lot of these gurus. But like, I'm like, why would I ever want an unhappy customer? So for Mike's team to take like $28,000 from someone and hold them hostage and like not be like, hey, like even like you can't give a 50% refund, even if, let's say they have used some of your resources. It just seems like their customer service, it just doesn't make sense. If you have all this money and someone says you didn't provide, why can't you be the bigger person? You're the rich guy. Like the people with the money should be the bigger people most of the time, right? Like in most cases, you should be the bigger person and at least refund your unhappy customers. But Mike can't do that because if he did, he wouldn't have a business because he would have to refund like 50 to 75% of everyone who joins his program. So that's kind of my take on Mike's program. I don't recommend it. Unless you're in some weird category of life. Like if you already have a crap ton of money, and let's say you live in San Diego and you just want to hang out with the Lambo boys, and you want to flex and whatever, sure, go ahead. But to me, this whole chasing the dream high ticket sales stuff, it's so overplayed. It's so traditional, pyramid schemey, internet marketing. So many of these programs have got screwed by the FTC and SEC. So that's all I got. So take it with a grain of salt. If you want to look at what I'm doing, you can look at it in the video description. Once again, you're an adult, right? Use your own discretion. Use your own discretion of what you want to do. But yeah, for me, it's a pass. Hard pass on Mike Barron stuff. That's all I got.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Shiv. Welcome to my channel. I talk a lot about business, entrepreneurship, mindset, but more importantly, how it revolves around what I do, which is SEO. I do it specifically for small businesses, think like mom and pops, tow truck owners, tree care, roofing, things like that. About 400 different types of small businesses in small cities. So cities that are less than 350,000 in population. If you want to learn more about the business model I do and how I've taught a lot of other people to make passive income online, ethically, normally, check the link down below somewhere. You can read more about it.